So, hello, my name is Alden. I'm from the Philippines. So, hello, how are you? So, March 16, that was my last, that was the day before the quarantine here in the Philippines. We call it an enhanced community quarantine. And then, yeah, the president announced that it will be like all transportation will be stopped. So, March 16, that was a Monday. I remember because I was able to go to the office, but because the transportation was almost non-existent already by that time, uh, I just got to the office, and the next day it's like a total lockdown. So that night, we were all checking out our computers because I'm a bilingual call center agent. I speak French and English, and I have my materials. I have my two monitors, I have my CPU, and then we were checking out our stuff. The next day, March 16, Tuesday, we had to go back home, but there was no longer any transportation. Happily, one of my office mates, she has a car, so she drove me back home. One of my colleagues, another French-speaking guy, he has to go to a province called Cavite, but there was nobody to bring him there. And normally, if you get a taxi, you will pay from Quezon City to Cavite 200 pesos. The car that drove him there charged him 2,500 pesos. Yeah, that 10 times, 100 times more because he had no choice. Nobody would bring him home because it was locked down. So he had to pay that instead of 200 pesos, he had to pay 2,500 pesos. Anyway, so it was working from home from March 17 up to now. It's cool because I don't have to dress up. I don't have to try and go 30 minutes to the office and 30 minutes back to the office. So I have time for yoga. And then since I'm working at home, I could be in front of my monitors and then I could have my yoga mat behind me. And then if I feel a little bit sleepy, I could do some yoga exercises and nobody cares because I'm at home, right? So that's cool. And but after 2 weeks, it's kind of getting boring, to stay at home. It's like you feel like you're in prison, although I can go out, I can go to the mall. You have to wear a mask, you have to have a pass, but anyway, there's no restaurants, only fast food outlets are open, and there's you cannot go swimming, you're going to go to the movies, and I miss those stuff. During weekends, I go to the movies and I eat in different restaurants, but during the lockdown, okay, we have to stay home for the benefit of other people because you might contaminate other people or other people might contaminate you. So stay home to keep everybody safe. But now, it's April 28th. Uh, Suddenly they lifted the barriers, because there was a checkpoint at every corner of the street. Now they lifted everything. Suddenly, every people can go walk freely. And I wonder why. Maybe I don't know. Maybe they could see that the number of contaminated people are going down because every day here in the Philippines there's around 200 newly infected people. There are already 7,000 people infected. Only 500 deaths. You know, 500 people dying. That's not much in comparison to other countries, right? Like I've heard in the UK, they're like 600 people dying every day, up,
Mm.
right? And in some other countries like Italy and Spain, it's terrible. Anyway, things are flattening slowly, and in the Philippines, it's definitely improving. And who knows? Maybe next week, maybe the restaurants will be open again, and then the facilities will be open again. We can go out. I'm hoping.
Okay,
I'm
and tell
hoping.
me in the beginning when the president announced that the public transport would be stopped, it would mean that it would stop completely. There would be no buses, nothing.
No buses, no jeepneys, no Grab, no taxis, and even if you have a private car, they would stop you. You know, they would say, "What are you doing? What?" You can go out for essentials. You know, you have to buy food, you have to withdraw from the bank, but otherwise you cannot go out. You cannot visit a friend, you cannot go to the park. Yes, you could go maybe to the park, but you have to go back home very fast also.
So, are there any policemen stopping and asking where are you going?
Yeah, at every checkpoint, But here it's very lenient. It's not like in India where if they catch you, they will hit you, with a stick. That's a bit cruel,
Mhm.
But here, no, they just interrogate, ask you, and then if you're not supposed to go out, then they politely ask you to go back home. Okay.
Okay, so there wouldn't be any fines for that.
No fight, and then it depends also on the person going out. Like me, when I go out, nobody asks for my pass. Nobody questions me. I just go straight.
Mhm. And
I
when
just,
you mentioned that you need to wear your mask, do you have to wear it all the time when you go outside or only for some specific places like shops, for example?
when somebody, like a guard at the checkpoint sees you, and then you don't have your mask, they will signal you for you to wear your mask. But it's suffocating to wear the mask all the time. I cannot breathe well. So when nobody's looking, I take off the mask so that I could breathe well.
Yeah, I know. And especially when it's warm, it's getting really uncomfortable.
Yeah, and then when you're walking, you need more air, and then that mask is in front of you, it's ridiculous. Anyway, anyway, that virus is really something, because uh, it's I think it shows how small the world has become, because before, you don't know what's happening in Belarus, you don't know what's happening in the other side of the world, but now you see what's happening everywhere at the same time because of the internet, because of connectivity, and it has become like a small village. The world has become like a small
Yeah.
village. Like you now, you're from the Czech Republic, I'm from the Philippines, and we're talking as if we're just neighbors. That,
Yeah.
that, that's good. I mean, and then from the Facebook, yeah, there are groups, talking about, chatting. Right now, I feel like internalizing. I meditate a lot. In fact, I meditate every day. I meditate for 20 minutes. Now with the lockdown, I meditate from 20 to 40 minutes every day. I internalize, and I don't like to be bothered by Facebook chats or anything. And if I feel like answering, I answer. But if not, especially if the question doesn't hit me as something relevant to me, I don't answer the question. You know,
I see. And tell me about the checkpoints. Are they at some random places or are they at some specific places, important places
at
or
the crossroads, at the crossroads,
Mhm.
from corner to corner, there are some checkpoints. Some checkpoints are manned, they're guards. Some checkpoints are not manned. And then one thing good also with this quarantine is that very resourceful people came up with the idea of an online market. They post on their Facebook, we have for sale fruits, mangoes, pineapples. We have for sale different pastries, or we have for sale chicken, or and then you could order. It's good. Like today, I was having 3 times delivered. Fruits, pastries, and some vegetables. It's cool. I hope they maintain that even after the quarantine, because you don't have to go out anymore. The vendors, they go to you. And of course,
Smart. Yeah.
social distancing, just the payment, and then they give to you your package, no shake hands, you pay, and then you get the product, and then you go back inside. That's cool. That's so cool.
Mhm. And do you know how do other people react to the situation? Are they okay? Do they trust the government that they are doing everything in their best interest and they just wait when this is over? Or did they do any panic shopping like I saw on internet that at some countries people were crazily buying out all the toilet paper?
There was, I think, panic. there was hoarding for a day or two, and then afterwards it stopped. And then one thing, it's difficult to be a president, and especially the president of the Philippines, because Filipinos are complainants. They like to complain a lot, and there's always a small sector complaining about the president, no matter who the president is. They complain all the time. They don't see, but I say that the majority of the people, when I observe, when I, when I become like unbiased, I could see that the majority of the people are happy with the way Duterte is running the Philippines. Yeah, one good thing about this quarantine thing, this global quarantine, the
Mhm.
earth is healing itself. You know why? Less air pollution, less water pollution. For the first
Yeah.
time, I could see the blue skies. The air is fresher and the waters are clearer. Imagine that. In Venice, I think the dolphins are visiting the Venice Lake again. You could see the
Oh, that's
dolphins in the
nice.
Venice waters there. And then in here in the Philippines, you could see the Sierra Madre mountain range. Before it was smog. You could see the buildings, and behind the buildings, nothing, smog. But now that the smog has cleared, that I realized that there are mountains behind the buildings. You could see the whole mountain range. The
That's
whole,
nice.
we call that the Sierra Madre mountain range. Beautiful, beautiful. So,
Mm.
and then you know what? In my mind, we should do this quarantine twice every 6 months. A 30 days self-imposed quarantine, 30 days every 6 months, just to clean the earth.
Thank you very much for accepting my invitation and coming to tell me about the situation in Philippines.
That's right. It's my pleasure. You were put on this earth to create your own reality, not to face reality, but to create your own reality. So create something beautiful and something that you will love, that you will enjoy in your life. Okay.
So nicely put. Thank you.
Okay, Jidka. So whenever you want, just tell me.
Thank you. Take care and bye bye.
Bye bye. So